Is what, I'm 180 right now, so whatever that disparity in weight is, plus his skill. So I spend the day being on the bottom trying not to panic like a bitch, right? Because yeah, he can do whatever he wants to me. And occasionally I'll catch him, you know, not that bad. But what I do is I use that opportunity for this side. If I can remain calm while I'm underneath and still keep a calm head, and it's like, okay, he's moving his foot there, watch for this, you know, watch the hook there, he's going for your arm. If I can use that, when sparring, when you have somebody, you have the girl, you know, let her go off on you and really maintain a cool head. Even if it's a girl, letting her punch, but still boxing and maintaining good defense without overwhelming her, you work on yourself at that moment. And you work on that calm head and observe things that are out there. Some of the, I train guys for MMA, and some of the things where I have a guy who's scared of getting hit. So I have to physically put him against the wall and punch him and have him have a cool head because it gets him out of his game. So one of the ways you can actually do that is to recite the alphabet while you're getting hit, you know? It's one of the ways. It's not that you want to do that in a fight, but you have to train the brain in order to do that. So, but really, it's the observe your emotions where they're at in that moment. And one of those punches gets through. That's the moment that you train yourself to contain your anger. I
suppose it's being able to express that killer instinct in a safe environment or in a safe way without me actually having to kill someone. So through doing
hit the bag. Hitting the bag.
What martial art would you suggest?
Any stand-up martial art that you can spar. Because jiu-jitsu is, a lot of jiu-jitsu is this side of the game. There's killer instinct in it, but you don't get to express it that often. You know, you will more with no-gi and with MMA, but anything where you can stand up. And even when you're standing up, you may not express this. See, to me, JKD, where we get the helmets out and we can go full bore with armor, that's when you can go. You know, even Krav Maga will do that because they'll wear the armor. So that's when you can get the expression of that. Okay, when you can really go 100%. But if you're just sparring, you'll do it in smaller moments. When you get a jab or a cross and it rocks them, then you go in with 2-3 shots and you turn it back off. You're not trying to kill your partner, but you get to express it in smaller doses. Where when you get the gear on, I hate you, Steve. I like to use Steve. I love to hit Steve. Where is he? I love to hit that guy. You know, like he says, because he'll hit me and then it pisses me off and then I get to practice all this stuff, right? So does that answer your question? Yeah. Okay, good.
Cool. Hi, Ed. Thanks for your talk. It was very good. It seems like you do this every day.
Yeah,
so anyway, I wanted to ask, what's the role of diplomacy? Like, what's the role of diplomacy? So let's say that Shun Tzu was still alive, and he came across this situation. I wouldn't see him, you know, fighting. He would probably, you know, try to, you know, disturb his opponent or try to befriend him.
Remember, what is my definition of a street fight? It's a very serious situation where people can die. So if I'm going to make that decision to fight, and it wasn't always that way. I had a very selfish reason for fighting, was to overcome my bully. I wanted to exact revenge on my bullies, and I did. I did. I actually traveled back anyway. But it evolved, and as my experiences, because then it became about like, oh, I'm getting better as a fighter, then you get the ego, and you're like, I'm a fucking tough guy, let's see what happens. But you want to get to a point where it's a very serious situation, and I have walked away from more fights than I've ever been in my life. And morally, if I can justify this situation happening, it's myself or my family's in danger. Okay, it's not some guy, you know, and I have compassion. Even in the midst of a fight, you know, where there are times when, you know, your friend's being an ass. Back in the day, I had a friend being an ass. He starts a fight, and a couple guys jump on him. And I, as a friend, I can't sit there and allow him to be killed in front of me, because 2-on-1 that's very easy situation, a very easy thing for that to happen. So even in the midst of that, when you jump in, I'm not going to go to here with that guy. I'm going to incapacitate him as much as I can, but you will injure to a degree. So for somebody who just won't go there, that is a philosophical thing that they have to reconcile within themselves. But I guarantee, as a compassionate human being, I have great love for my wife and my family, and if somebody were to attack us, I have no problem going there. But I'm not going to pick some poor schmo on the street and just, you know, or some deranged guy. Even a deranged guy attacks me, I have to assess the situation. Is it worth it to go here, or do I need to? But then again, shit can happen. I can be nice to this guy and slip and fall and hit my head, and now he's raping my wife or whatever, or now I'm dead just because of this guy. So you have to treat it with the respect that it deserves. But that is an individual choice. That's how I reconcile it. Is, you know, this is a serious situation, and you know, a lot's going to have to happen in order for, you know, up to that point in order for me to actually fight. Not always, but you know, to this level.
Yeah, thanks, Ed, for your speech. I've taken martial arts, and I kind of wanted to ask you the question about, like in my situation, you kind of taught, like, if you're in a fight, you want to make sure that you can do what you can to stop the fight. So I haven't had a lot of training in going to, like, that, you know, as far as possible, go as far as possible, no mercy, and like take it there. So I was thinking, for me, how do I figure that out in myself and say, hey, okay, this is, if I have to go there, I'm able to go there even if I've never trained to do that.
You have to train to do that, because that will give you choice. You see, that's the thing, is this is now a choice for me. I have this at my disposal, but that does not in any way dictate that I'm going to use this in all of my fighting experiences. But I have it if I need it. If you don't train it in some way, you know, if yours is specifically for martial arts, then it may or may not be there for you. You don't know, because a lot of people have killer instinct. It's inborn in us. But whether you have the tenacity and the skill and all that, you know, to express it when it needs to come out in the right way, you won't know until you actually explore it. So you have to do it. But it's a choice. This is not something that believe me, I've used more NLP and more hypnosis getting out of fights than I have actually fighting, right? There are plenty of ways to avoid fights. That's why I have Steve and those guys for now. I just teach them, and I live vicariously through them when they go in their pickup scene, and they're like, this guy was eyeballing me. It's AMOC. I'm like, really? What'd you do? Yeah, right? He didn't like that? So anyway, guys, we're out of time. So if we want, I'll be available for questions or anything. I really enjoyed it. I thank Anthony and all that stuff. I hope you got something out of it. And thanks. We'll see you again.